Hello, Mom and Dad Meet World. So we are talking about the iPad Pro 13. Yes, the latest, greatest M4 iPad Pro 13 that Apple had just released. I just wanted to give you a little bit of brief history with my iPad introduction. We had bought the original iPad, really loved it when it had come out, loved what it did, and still love the brand new iPad right now and the way this performs also. So this is it right here. So we had an M1 iPad Pro. We actually had both the 11 and the 12.9. Actually really loved using the 12.9. That was my primary device. We did not end up upgrading to an M2 iPad Pro, so literally had the 11-inch iPad Pro probably up until about 6 months ago, and then had the 12.9 and had been using the 12.9 very frequently all the way up till about 2 months ago, till around March, when we had actually traded it in for an Apple gift card, which is what we use to help offset the cost of this one right here. So right up front, we are not reviewers, testers. This isn't the main purpose of this particular channel. We just happen to really like our iPad and our Apple products. And so this device is something that we are going to be using for a while. And this will be also one of our main devices that we use to take with us, whether it be out and about anywhere and everywhere we go, travel. This is just going to be one of our main consumption devices. I actually did use the gift card, applied it towards the purchase of this, and then also use Apple's 12-month no interest financing. Again, not coming from an M2 iPad Pro, but we had the M1 iPad Pro, so we knew how good it was, and it truly was phenomenal with the 120 Hertz ProMotion screen. Everything just seemed so very fast and responsive with that M1 iPad Pro. So as I mentioned, I sold it about 2 months ago for that Apple gift card, and we had actually picked up a current generation, and I still have a current generation iPad mini, but the change from the 12.9 inch iPad Pro to the current generation iPad mini was a little bit jarring because of the screen and because of the responsiveness. And yes, that current generation iPad mini still has an A15 processor, which is very fast, but it was nothing like the responsiveness of that M1 iPad Pro 12.9 inch. So going between that was jarring, so we actually ended up picking up a M1 iPad Air when it had gone on sale at Best Buy for about $399 between those two, because I just missed that bigger screen. And now going from that to this right here, so this model right here, I just want to be upfront with you. This is the 13-inch M4, 1 terabyte, 16 gigs of storage, and 4 high-performance cores with 6 high-efficiency cores in this model. So this is the unbinned model right here, and as you can see, we indeed have a case with this. This is just a ESR case. This is not sponsored. This was actually just picked up prior to us actually getting the iPad, because I wanted to have some sort of case on this, because I know myself, I'm very clumsy. So we not only got the case, but there's also a tempered glass screen protector. I'm typically not a tempered glass screen protector person. I like the clear plastic film that you put on here, because you're not adding a thick layer, but you are giving the glass some protection. But it was not on Amazon Prime. I know they have it, but we will just wait. And when I need a new screen protector down the road, that is the one I'm gonna pick up. But got this very inexpensive case right here. So best time to put on screen protector and a case is gonna be right as you are unboxing it. And as you are unboxing it, put it on right away, because there's gonna be no dust. You won't have your fingerprints all over it. When we did unbox the iPad Pro yesterday, just to show you, I just did not have time to go ahead and put on the tempered glass screen protector and the case. It does take a little bit of time to get that put on because you want to make sure there's no air bubbles and there's no dust and particles and debris. And just a little side note too, that the cases for the M1, M2 iPad Pros do not fit the M4. There's something about the magnets, they're just not in the same location, plus the camera cutout is just a tad little bit different in terms of the cutout and the placement of the actual module in the back here that they're using. So it does not fit, in case you're wondering. So the iPad is going to stay in the case. I'll pull up a little bit of what it looks like out of the case, but the iPad is thin. I didn't know I wanted something thinner until I actually picked up the iPad, but the iPad is thin, it is lightweight, it is responsive. Very, very responsive. Actually feels a tad bit more responsive even than the M1 iPad Pro that we had, and it is a night and day difference with the current generation iPad mini in terms of the responsiveness, because you've got that 120 Hertz ProMotion screen. Both screens are beautiful, even though that one is an IPS LCD. This is a tandem OLED, so dual stack layer OLED screen. The screen is just phenomenal. As I said, responsiveness of it is out of this world. And as I said, when we were using the iPad mini current gen to this right here, it's just jarring. I actually went to set this up today, and all I was doing was updating some apps, and I just kept using it and using it and using it because it was just that darn quick, and again, super duper responsive. So my main purpose in getting the iPad Pro is what I've done with it in the past. It's really just a consumption device. I love using it as a digital newspaper, checking Apple News, getting email, just checking out different websites, you know, surfing the web as we all do. Pretty much watching YouTube, watching other streaming services when we are out traveling, especially when we go out to a hotel where, you know, streaming service, you just want to put it on, you bring it with you, you take it with you on a plane. When you get to your hotel, you want to get on a treadmill maybe. I like having the bigger screen, like putting it on the treadmill, pairing it up with a pair of AirPods. There you go. It's a great consumption device. And then also for work, I do have my Outlook email on here, but the cool thing about this is I actually use this quite a bit. Like I did with the 12.9-inch M1 iPad Pro, I will be using this as a secondary sidecar display for our MacBook that I've got sitting right here. So primarily use a 14-inch MacBook Pro, and then having another companion next to it in this is really nice too. And the cool thing about this is this is gonna kind of give us a glimpse, I know, easy for me to say, into the future of potentially having the stacked tandem OLED display, what it would look like with a Mac interface. And I know when I talk about Mac, that's maybe something that's a little bit touchy, because there have been quite a few reviewers that have said, hey, the hardware is great, but the software, it's lacking, like they want Mac OS on this particular iPad. So that's what I love about the iPad. I love when the original iPad came out and what it did, and I absolutely love this iPad and what it does right now. It's very simplistic, but the thing is, with that M4 chip and the display, especially the size of this display, you have options where you're doing something from just literally consuming content of YouTube, or if you want to draft up an email, you can hook up a keyboard, trackpad, hook up a Bluetooth mouse to it. You can even plug this up to a Thunderbolt 3 or 4 dock and have it as a full-blown computer and workstation. We have that video that I'll link to in the end, where I hooked up a Thunderbolt dock along with a Thunderbolt display to our other M1 iPad Pro, and you are able to hook up quite a few accessories, especially with that Thunderbolt dock, because you can hook up a full keyboard, mouse, pretty much everything to it. But again, it all comes back to the simplistic, or how simple you want to make it in getting back to the roots of the iPad. And I think if you had an option for, say, like a dual boot Mac OS, iPad OS, I think it would be nice, but I think I primarily would use it as iPad OS still, because I just love having the, hey, just pick it up, touch the screen, check your email, get on Apple News. And I know a lot of people are like, hey, you know, we really want Mac OS, but you know, when you are traveling and when you're out and about, it's a little bit harder to say pick up your computer right here and put that on a treadmill, right, and watch whatever streaming service you want to. I mean, here's the thing, could you? You could absolutely do that, but I mean, taking something like this, bringing it with you, putting it on the treadmill, hooking it up to your AirPods, I think that's going to be a little bit more convenient. But the thing is, again, that's the magic of the iPad, is you are going to have that versatility, and that versatility is really, really awesome. Loved it from the very first time Steve Jobs introduced it, sat down on the chair and was pretty much on the internet with it. It is really just a consumption device, which I truly love. This is going to be a longer term review video, is I've always been wondering about the battery, because they have made this slimmer, they've made it lighter. We did get the Wi-Fi plus the cellular version. I was always wondering about the battery, because I noticed that our M1 iPad Pro, it would go through battery pretty quickly. If you were streaming, it was actually phenomenal with streaming. It would actually just sip the battery when you were streaming any sort of content. But if you did anything more than that, it would eat through the battery pretty quickly. And there have been a lot of YouTubers, a lot of reviewers already who have said that the battery life for them has been phenomenal. We will just have to see, but I think that's because, again, it's using 4 high performance cores, but it's got 6 high efficiency cores, which high efficiency cores, if they're gonna do everything I need it to do, but it's gonna last longer, I will 100% absolutely take the high efficiency cores, because you know, high efficiency cores, that's going to be something pretty neat, especially if it can do what we wanted to do quickly and still have that amazing, that phenomenal battery life in the iPad Pro. So again, I think about this iPad Pro as a great companion to a MacBook or an iPhone. I would equate it to, you know, how there are people who love their mirrorless cameras and they have their trinity of lenses, you know, that 16 to 35, 24 to 70, 70 to 200. Well, this I equate as part of that trinity between the MacBook, the iPhone, and this guy, the iPad. I think I'd probably put this as maybe the 16 to 35 is where I'd put this, maybe, or is it the 70 to 200? But I don't know, but it's just part of that trio that works very, very well with the Apple ecosystem and Apple's continuity, where, you know, your photos, your messages, your web pages, they can all sync right up. And if you are an Apple user and you have that trinity, you will know exactly what I'm talking about. If you are not, then I will just tell you that it's just made my work life, my productivity just a little bit more efficient, or should I say a lot more efficient. But overall, there will be more videos to come, a little bit more long-term reviews. Just right now, no, it's fast, it's amazing, screen is beautiful, it is responsive as ever, and it's probably the best iPad that Apple has created. Yes, you are paying quite a small fortune for this, and you are getting quite a bit of really, really amazing hardware. But again, I think of it as a quality of life improvement. I love that there's overhead here, where if I wanted to do something more demanding, I definitely have the option to do so. But right now it is fantastic, has been fantastic. Can't wait to tell you a little bit more about the battery life and the little bit of more long-term use. But until next time, hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did, you know what to do. Please give it a like and subscribe. It really helps out our channel. And until next time, thanks for watching. Bye for now.